late, I show you how to make money in crypto assets. If you like money in crypto, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, guys. I can't talk today. This is not going well. Guys, today I'm wearing black. It's not a red day. It's not a green day. We're all just a little bit in mourning from what happened yesterday. But I hope our stream yesterday was able to help you guys feel a little bit better about what's going on. And guys, the markets are looking up at this moment. This doesn't mean it's going to stay up, of course. But we do have a lot of evidence that this was coordinated manipulation to the downside. And so you guys know the people that look at charts, they can't really see the fundamentals going on off of the charts. When you do technical analysis, you're covering one type of chart at one time, okay? We look at fundamentals here, and hey, the technicals seem to point to a big drop, and they were right. However, the fundamentals about how all this happened is a little sketch. We're going to look at some pretty interesting information in terms of Bitcoin inflows today that seem to suggest that there could be something interesting going on. Anybody else notice that I've been sassy? Wow, sassy. Rare. Okay. Guys, we're going to talk about some very interesting things that have been going on in the world of charting. There is a Wyckoff Distribution pattern that has played out exactly. I know we referenced it a couple days ago. I've got Ryan from the, I think I can say his name, I don't know, from the Uncomplication channel. He will be coming on for a quick interview tomorrow. And then, of course, we're going to get him on the on Around the Blockchain in the future. And then also Crypto Savvy is a guy who also called this back in March. He sent me a video last night where he had called it as well, so we'll give him a little shout out. If you guys want to follow either one of their channels, you guys can do that. Here's Crypto Savvy. He had a video back in March where he talked about this happening, playing out exactly like it did. And what's funny is he called it very early on in this. And then, of course, Uncomplication, it says doesn't have any, I don't know why that said that. I guess he doesn't have anything on his homepage. But he's had several videos about this recently. Wyckoff Distribution plays out. Bitcoin Manipulation, Textbook, Wyckoff Manipulation 2021. This is a very popular video. A lot of other YouTube channels have referenced. So he actually reached out to me last night. So we're going to get him on the channel to talk about this down the road. We're going to be showing you guys what this means. And, you know, it's, to me, when I was looking at this, it was almost too obvious the way it was playing out. Like, surely the people behind this manipulation would have been smarter than to just follow the exact pattern. But, you know, it is what it is. So we're going to look at that and also look at some Justin Sun news, some NFT news, and we're going to figure out if we're bullish now. Are we bullish or are we bearish? I want to know from you guys in the chat. I want to know. Hashtag bullish, hashtag bearish. How many people we have watching?
About 9,000.
9,000, guys. Let's go ahead and hit that like button as well. How many likes are we at?
1,400.
1,400. So let's go ahead and get that up to at least 50%. By the time you get it there, it'll probably be 6,000 because there'll probably be 12,000 people watching. So let's go ahead and get that going. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in here. Why is my face there like that? That was when I had that haircut. Gosh, I really regret a lot of things I was doing this time in my life. Even here, look at my hair there. What is wrong with my hair?
All right, most of the chat leaning bullish.
Most leaning bullish. Okay, so is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a good question. I mean, for who, I guess. But
yeah. Well, I mean, if a lot of people are feeling bullish, then maybe there wasn't enough pain, possibly. That's what some people would tell you.
Well, and I think if I imagine that's probably what we'll look at in the Wyckoff Distribution is there's might be one more step.
Possibly. Also, an Elliott wave. People are saying there's one more Elliott wave down. We'll see. These patterns work until they don't. So 1.04 million subscribers. We will hit 1.05 here probably in the very near future. Definitely by the end of the day. Guys, also don't forget to be following me on Twitter. We can unpin this actually because we had that already. On our Twitter page, you can get access to all kinds of different clips. You can get access to all kinds of different deals, along with partner project announcement. Here's a little bit from our golf tournament this weekend. You guys could see, we did get second place in the golf tournament. TokenMetrics, we love them, but they didn't place. So we heard they were playing 36 holes instead of 18 out there. So
oh, wow.
That's what we heard. Well, it took long enough. We love you guys. Okay, thanks for coming out. All right, guys, let's jump into the markets here. We got some really interesting numbers going on. Market cap at 1.84 trillion. We've got the 24-hour volume coming in at 321 billion. Someone says the bullish stinks from here. No, the bullish. Okay. Mm-hmm. We got Bitcoin dominance at 42.2%, 18.3% for Ethereum. So Ethereum was over 20, Bitcoin was below 40, and now they're starting to reverse a little bit. Is this a trend we're going to see continue? I got to say, I personally think that it is. I think we will see Bitcoin dominance rise back up around 50%. Does that mean the altcoins are going to get crushed? Not necessarily. It means that probably Bitcoin is going to start taking a little more of the spotlight, and we kind of need a bullish narrative for Bitcoin and for it to do well, for everything else to do well. So let's look at the 24-hour percentage here. And I do want to point one thing out. TJ told me earlier this morning this volume was at an all-time high. It was $500 billion.
It was like 450 and change. It was pushing 500.
Pushing 500 billion. And right now it's 321 billion, which is still a lot. But this is due to the way that a 24-hour time period works. Like, hey, at 9 o'clock, 9 to 10 a.m. yesterday, Eastern Standard Time, that's when the market was crashing. So there's a lot of volume at that time. And then now we're over 24 hours out. So we all got played. Wyckoff, he says. Bullish on Alonzo. Are you talking about the Cardano hard fork, or is there a different project? I don't know. I assume that's what he's talking about. Internet computer was up 50% earlier today. Right now it's coming in at $179. If you remember, we put 100K into it at $320. So just once again bearing out. It's better to wait when new projects come out, but we got some exposure. We got Waves roaring back, Digibyte roaring back, Nano roaring back, Theta Fuel, Elron, Filecoin. Elron had a big announcement today. I don't know if they actually made it yet, but I do know they have a big announcement coming. Cosmos, VeChain, a lot of stuff recovering okay, but here's the key. What you really need to look at is the week, okay? So it's up 44% right now, but it's still down 36% for the week. Waves is still down 18%. Theta down 10%. And look at some of these numbers. I mean, some of these projects have just been killed. Anchor doing pretty well. H-bar is actually up for the week.
Wow.
That's impressive. Let's see what is up for the week. I think Harmony Matic and whatever we just looked at are probably the only ones. H-bar. Oh, no. Yeah. Polygon up 80% for the week. Harmony up 24%. Solana up 10%. Sushi up 5%. HBAR up 4%. Doge up 1%. Wow, this Doge really is resilient.
It is.
Pretty impressive. Where's Cardano? Cardano is down for the week at this point. I didn't see it. Let's see what it is here. Cardano is down 3.95% for the week. So not bad. A lot of our biggest holdings held pretty good. I mean, XRP down only 6% for the week. So if you want some hope, here's some hope. You got some of your bigger coins doing well, but you got a coin like Polkadot down 23%. It was down to $15 yesterday, I think.
Yeah, I was actually, somebody was asking me about good opportunities for entries on strong projects yesterday, and that was the one I pointed them towards.
Yeah,
I've
said that for 3 months with Dot, though.
Yeah,
you know?
Well, that's true. It's a solid project, and it seemed to get hammered a lot harder than a lot of the other stuff. So
yeah. All right, well, let's check out Bitcoin. Let's see what's popping here. And I got to tell you guys what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for one thing and one thing only right now. I am waiting for this large green dot here on the daily. We've only had one. Well, that's not a large green dot. I'm just showing you the momentum waves down. A tiny one, a teensy tiny one, and this was kind of a bigger one here. And these all reflect the correction. So we've had 4 downward momentum waves on the daily all year long. To find the last one, you got to go all the way back to October where you had a couple corrections. You know what's amazing was we had a pretty big correction at the end of November, and it still didn't go down below. The daily chart is pretty resilient, and this is a good indication of being in a bull market still, because if you go back and you look through the bear market, I mean, you will see a lot of these waves on the bottom. Now, this is as far back as the ByBit chart goes, 2019, because that's when ByBit began. That's when it started. Which, by the way, if anybody wants to sign up for ByBit, you guys can, of course, head on over to bitboycrypto.com/deals, and you guys can get access to all of our best deals, including ByBit, which, are they still doing that deposit bonus? Let me see if they're still doing it here. Promotions, latest promotions. They are, it looks like, still doing the $1,610 deposit bonus, if you want to check that out. And then Femex also is doing a $2,000 deposit bonus. All you got to do is go here to the site, go to the home page, and you can click $2,000 bonus. So there they are. They still have 5 days left in this bonus if you guys want to sign up. But okay, so let's go back here to the chart. And what I'm kind of looking at here is waiting for this large green dot. Now, these large green dots are very slow. There he is, Jason Casper, my dude. Let's get that big green dot on the daily. Jason, what do you think is going to happen? You think it's going to be a really bullish green dot, or you think it's going to play out a different way? I mean, it sounds like if you're in here putting that, you're looking for a bull dot for sure. For the most part, these big green dots on the daily are very consistent. So we did have one back here at the beginning of March, but of course, the beginning of March 1st, we didn't know we were going to get the pandemic crash last year, and then of course that led into that. So basically, if we get a big green dot here, then that means that probably we are going to be on the upswing for Bitcoin. We're looking at some super bullish momentum. But the thing is really and truly, when you're looking here at this and you're going back, this doesn't go back really far enough to what I want to show. Let's go to the Coinbase. Let's go to the Coinbase so we can really get a better example here of what a bull market or a bear market looks like with these green dots here. So, okay. So if you go back here, if you go to 2018, okay, this is the bear market. The bear market is from February 2018. Someone said Cardano ERC20 converter launching on testnet. That's pretty good. Thank you for that, Kyle Cox. Yeah. February 6th, and we did have a big run up at this point. So this is what you guys got to consider. Are we still in a bull market, or are we in a bear market? And that actually will drastically affect the way that you play out these green dots, okay? And what do I mean by that, okay? I mean that if you look here, this is the bear market. Let me get my drawing tool here. The bear market is from here to here. That's a bad way to draw it. Let me draw it up here. Technically, it started here. It went all the way through, and then it bottomed right there with those yellow X's. That is the bear market. What we actually saw after that is the beginning of the bull market, and it didn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like this right here is the beginning of a bull market because you were previously at numbers this high. So even when it got back up to 14,000 in 2019, it still didn't feel that great. This right here did kind of feel pretty good. But this was when Bitcoin 2019 was happening. Mm-hmm. But this right here is actually like the start of the bull market, just not the parabolic action. The March crash kind of threw stuff off, but in general, this is what we're looking at. So why do I bring that up? I bring that up because all four of these green dots here, and of course, all the way through these three down here, this is the way you should play these green dots if we were actually in a bear market. Because in a bull market, we get the green dot like we did in the beginning of in March or September of last year, and we just say, hey, if you're getting along right here, it may never return to these numbers again, goes up for a long time, you get really, really, really big gains. Right now, we really don't know where things are going. So even if we get the green dot on the daily, like this is what I want to show you guys, okay? CF says money's been leaving since February. Sure. I mean, people have taken profits along the market. Sure. I mean, why would that be a surprise to anybody? So when you look here and you look at this big green dot, okay, and you look at where the market was at that time, okay, the market was at about $6,200 and it went all the way back up to $11,747, okay, almost a 100% move. But what happened afterwards? It continued dropping. We never got momentum. We never created a new all-time high until last year. So just because we're waiting on this giant green dot here on the daily, this does not mean we're in the clear just because we get the green dot. This just means the downward momentum has been so fast, so hard, and so fierce that it's time for a reprieve. And so that's where you get the phrase dead cat bounce from, where basically you get the bounce, and we could be in the midst of one right now, hopefully not, but we could be. You get the bounce, but it doesn't have anywhere upward to go. It just kind of stalls out. So we definitely don't want to see that. But it is something that is a possibility. Then you come down here and you look at the next green dot, and this was kind of negated by a yellow X right afterwards, but then it still went from 6,000 back up to 10,000 again. Then here, you had a green dot that didn't even really play out. Then you had this one that didn't play out, and this right here really began the downward swing that would eventually be the end of the market. But we did get a large green dot right here, right at pretty much the bottom of the market. I mean, this was when Bitcoin was right at about $3,000. This would have been the low, and of course it went up from there. I think the low is actually right here. Can't tell. I can't see what it says it was. The low, 32.12. 32.12 was the low of a daily close there. So, anyways, I hope that helps some people to understand that we are waiting right now for a large green dot on the daily. You can look on Coinbase or on the ByBit chart to see that it's coming. But this doesn't mean when we get a green dot that we go all in, all over leveraged, and we just expect things to go up from there. Guys, we got to clear 42,000 for sure. We got to clear 42,000 to really be able to get to a place where we can say, okay, let's go back up. So, all right, let's check out the Ethereum chart here. And this is where, to me, we got to kind of be careful. Because Ethereum right now, if you're looking on the daily chart, it is still showing some negative numbers on our DBSI here. I'm looking for Ethereum to get back to about $3,000, and it got rejected off $3,000 again. Bitcoin, $42,000 is the number. Ethereum, $3,000 is the number that we need to get to. Now, here's a possible scenario I could see playing out. Someone says, CF is interesting. I'm a lifetime member. Oh, there's Damon. Add the super trend indicator to the chart. Yeah, I don't know where that is, but sure. I can figure where that is, and I can do it maybe tomorrow. But anyways, we're looking at Ethereum. We need to get above $3,000. That's when we're really going to be able to say, like, okay, things are on the upswing again. However, I want to go back to CoinMarketCap, and I want to go back to this dominance number. Because, guys, when it came to the dominance, okay, what we saw was a fast and fierce fall from about 60% all the way down to 39.9% in the span of, 4 weeks? Almost 2 months. So about 7 weeks, it dropped that far. If you come back over here and you look at when the run really started heating up, in January and February 2017, we had a fall of 86% down to 64%. Then we had a little bit of a peak, and then it went down, okay? And it bottomed out at 37%. This was not the all-time low here, okay? It did in the next run, when things went the most parabolic for altcoins, the most parabolic alt season, we were at 33.39%, okay? So where do I think that we are right now? Let me screenshot this so I can draw on it here. Okay, get this a little bit bigger here. Okay. All right, so I think this right here is about where we're going to go. I think this is what we're going to see for Bitcoin here in the near future. Now, this would actually kind of line up with where we're at in this cycle, unless it's over, which could be. Guys can't dice words here. Could be. I don't think it is. But Bitcoin went on another run, and it really crushed the altcoins for a period of time. So I don't know we got to check with Heather on that. That super chat there.
Yeah.
We'll check. We'll check on that. Thank you for the congratulations there. So this is where we have to be careful though, okay? Because I want to say this. I do see Bitcoin dominance going back up. Whether Bitcoin actually goes up or not, I mean, I hope it does. I'm about 50-50, honestly. Right now, I'm really 50-50 on whether I think it's going up or down from here. The fact that we're getting bounces and we can't get over 42, it's a little concerning. Of course, the drop was concerning. The thing on the other hand is there was a lot of coordinated manipulation, and we know that. We got a lot of proof of that. So for me, it's 50-50 on whether it's going to go up or go down. I know that's not helpful at all, but I'm just not really favoring one way or the other right now. Now, Carl's going to come on the channel 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today from the moon on YouTube, and he's going to give you his opinion on what's happening. You're definitely going to want to come back and watch that video. But the fact is, dominance is about to go up, I believe, okay? Where you have to be careful with Ethereum is if you start selling all your Ethereum and moving into Bitcoin, you definitely want to be back in Ethereum by the time that London hard fork hits. By about, I would say, the beginning of July. By the beginning of July, you would definitely want to be back in Ethereum because that hard fork is going to have a massive effect on the fees and a massive effect on the overall supply of Ethereum. So, in my opinion, getting over to Bitcoin and getting out of altcoins completely is not the move. If you want to do some, I would understand that. But I do think Bitcoin dominance is going to go up here for a little bit of time. Then we got a super chat there asking if I'm bearish. No, I'm not bearish. I'm just in the middle. I'm just in the middle.
Poor Muggle said, Ben, they want to hear some bars.
Guys. If y'all want to hear some bars? You want to hear some bars? If y'all want to hear bars, all you got to do is go over to Hit Network. You guys see it. It's right here on my page. Go down here. Hit Network. I've rapped several times on Hit Network. Several times. Make sure you're a subscriber and you can see me drop bars.
There you go.
I'm not feeling the bars today, guys. I don't know if I'm bullish or bearish. I don't know.
There's also some talk in the chat about Mike Novograt's recent tweet is pretty bullish.
Okay.
From a major investor that he says has extremely strong ties in DC, who's very bullish on Bitcoin.
Oh, it's Novograts, but I spelled it wrong. This guy would fight you.
Oh, yeah.
I think my Novograts would fight you.
He ain't scared.
No, I don't think he's scared of much. Let's see. Well, here he says it's not a knockout. What a coincidence. Lots happening in crypto. Recorded a quick video to help put context around the volatility we're witnessing in the crypto markets. It's not a knockout. It's only a knockdown. More thoughts coming tomorrow. So, let's see.
That's the one that the chat's talking about.
This one?
Yeah, where he says this is really, if you scroll up and see his comment, yeah.
This is really important.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what he had to say.
Basically, David Rubenstein or Steen he was saying extremely influential in Washington, D.C., and he's coming right out and saying the premise of the government banning Bitcoin is just a joke. So
yeah, of course. I mean, we know that. That's obvious. But once again, I would like to say
that was funny. I saw that too.
There's some Patriots footballs in there. Okay. So here's what I'd like to say. Okay, because look, in 2017, okay, or maybe it was 18. I can't remember what. I guess it would have been 2018 when the market was at its peak. There was definitely a large thing that occurred that affected the market that was very easy to point at and say coordination. We had a lot of the Chinese FUD coming out at the time, but the single biggest thing that broke the total market cap, okay, was $200 billion got wiped out of the $850 billion market cap in an hour. And what that was is that was when CoinMarketCap, that was not owned by Binance at the time. CoinMarketCap was owned by, a guy, Brandon Shez, that just ran out of his basement, basically. And he said, which he's anonymous, nobody knows who he is or what he looks like. But they removed the South Korean volume from the market cap. And when they did that, it immediately dropped $100 billion. And then the panic sellout pushed it now another $100 billion. Mm-hmm. You could look at that scenario and you could say, total manipulation, total coordination. There had to be a reason. They had to know that was going to happen. But you know what happened? It never bounced back. It never came back to all-time highs again. So we can talk a lot about the coordination. Look here. We got freaking Menard here saying crypto is tulip mania.
Yeah, that's later in the show.
What an idiot. I always got to remember that I can't say violent things on the show. But I really hate this guy a lot. He's Menard. What can I say? But the fact that we have guys like this flip-flopping, and we know every time he tweets something, it is coordination and manipulation. Every time. These people get platforms specifically to FUD the prices. But that doesn't mean that we're going to bounce back to all-time highs again. Just because there was coordination, was manipulation, we saw that in 2017, that does not equate to a V-shaped recovery.
What a cutie.
It's my senior photo. I guess I'm closer to senior citizen than senior in high school at this point, but
Well, maybe.
yeah, I am.
Wow. Might be literally right on the line.
No, I'm 17 years from, like, seniors 55 and up, right?
65. Oh, well, retirement, senior. I guess, yeah, senior citizen.
Well, I'm 17 years from 55.
Yeah.
And
I was thinking 65.
20 years from senior in high school.
Yeah, I guess senior citizen is 55.
I may have a breakdown.
Well, you had a good run.
I did have a good run. Well, maybe I'll get to go see them walruses one day. Who knows, when I'm in retirement. Okay, so let's move on. But that is what I want to say. Like, we're gonna point to a lot of stuff today that is very manipulative. Coordination stinks to high heavens. But just because it happened does not mean that we're in the clear. How many people we got watching?
17,000 with about 4,600 likes.
Wow, numbers are down today. People are scared. People left crypto yesterday.
I think people were scared yesterday and they feel better now. And they don't want to. They
don't want to watch me when they feel better.
They just want to hodl and not think about it.
That's a good point. I mean, guys, and I get it. It's emotionally exhausting.
Yeah.
What we went through yesterday, for sure. Okay, so here we go. As Bitcoin extended its losses from the previous week, its inflows to crypto exchanges surged to the highest levels seen in a year. Perhaps a telling sign that institutional and retail investors are liquidating their positions in mass. So here we go. We got the net transfer volume from and to exchanges. And you can see here the net transfer was negative yesterday by a pretty good bit. According to the on-chain analytics site Glassnode, crypto exchanges saw a net inflow of 32.2 thousand BTC. Net flows are calculated by finding the difference of the volume flowing into and out of exchanges. Previous high for the year was on April 22nd, 2021, which was when Bitcoin plummeted from the all-time high of 63.6K, depends on the exchange, down to 49K, blah, 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 blah. Why did Bitcoin exchange inflows spike to highest levels seen since Black Thursday? The reasoning for such behavior was simple. Since Tesla's decision to no longer accept Bitcoin payments or its cars, the major... This is so... I can't even... Like, I can't even with this crap. Like, really? Well, oh, and I see that.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at.
BitBoy's thumb bigger than Elon's French? Oui, oui. Oui, oui. Bonjour. Okay, so here... But I'm laughing at this. I'm laughing at the fact that these exchange inflows were because Elon Musk said that they're not going to accept crypto as payments for their cars.
What a joke. Yeah, no.
That's funnier than that super chat.
Yeah.
And that super chat was pretty dang funny. Okay. How much, what I want to know is, how much Bitcoin did Tesla make from car purchases?
Very little. I bet it's not even, does it have it?
I doubt it. I bet nobody has it.
There's probably been about 10 people that use their Bitcoin to buy a Tesla.
Yeah. I mean, and what, one Tesla is worth about one Bitcoin, probably, something like that.
Approximately.
Around there.
Probably depends on
give or take a
the
quarter
model.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
There's no way that they had more than 100 Bitcoin come in for that. No. There's no way. Why? The only people that are using their Bitcoin to pay for a Tesla are already super rich. Yep. Super rich. Like, if you have 3 Bitcoin, you're going to spend one of them on a Tesla?
No.
At the peak of the bull market?
No.
We said in the beginning, this is all marketing. This is not a serious way for them. Let me tell you another thing. They may have had such bad sales come in with Bitcoin, they decided, wait, what's the point in taking this? You know? That could be another thing.
People in the chat saying 17 BTC. Somebody said 4 Teslas. I mean, we don't know if this is accurate, but it's very low.
It's nothing. It's basically nothing.
10. A lot of people saying 10.
Yeah, somewhere around 10 Bitcoin. That sounds about right, probably. Like, it's not like this is a massive hit to their company. And to make the leap of faith that this is a reason that, now, his tweets started the unraveling. okay? But he was already tweeting at the bottoms. Remember that. Bitcoin had fallen from 59K to 51.5K when he tweeted the first time about not accepting Bitcoin. That dumped it down to where, 45, 46K? Yeah, some people are saying that YouTube is not making the stream easy to find today. I wonder why that is.
I'll look.
Yeah, we'll check it out. We'll get it figured out. But hey, that shows how, even if they are shadow banning us, look how many people we still got.
Yep.
You guys make sure to come here every day at the right time, you know. And you know, my wife was telling me, TJ, that for our afternoon streams, that it keeps showing a different time every time we upload it. One was showing 4:05 instead of 5. So,
well, that's probably the time the stream starts. You know, like you schedule it, and then it actually goes live at 5, but it's probably up, up and, you can get in the
well, she was saying it was showing it was supposed to start at a different time. So, I don't know, maybe, honey, if you can take a screenshot today.
Yeah.
All right. So, that's right. I call my wife honey. That's how sweet I am. Okay, so is this still part of the same thing? Major forces behind Bitcoin's worst losses since 2013. Dramatic sell-off in the past few days was catalyzed by a flurry of negative macros coming from Elon Musk reports that China was excluding crypto. With all kinds of stories. All kinds of stories were coming out about this. The number of liquidations recorded yesterday, an all-time high, unprecedented. People that thought that they would never get wicked out got wicked out. In addition, market pundits anticipate the greatest wealth transfer in modern time, from Bitcoin gaining as much as 10K within 4 hours after falling as low as $30,000 on Tuesday. And then we've got some glass and note stuff here. The Newport, wow, look at this. Wow, look at this. I feel like Owen Wilson. We are now in the brown. Wow, we are out of the green here. That is so dramatic. Wow. Now, this would have been, we had that run. Let me go back and look now that we're in the brown. Get a little, we're in the brown. In the brown, y'all. What a nice color for this. Because it feels like, okay, never mind. But if you do notice, in 2017, we had 2 dips into the brown that were recovered. This sounds so weird saying that. Then we have in 2013, where we know that we had an 83% drop in the market. It dropped way down into the brown and then recovered all the way back up to euphoria. So we still have never hit euphoria here. Oh, Chainlink has found a new partner. HPAR. How about that? Thank you, Crypto Wizard. Okay, then we got this crypto quant here. When we look at the numbers, this is the full chart of, wow, look at that.
That's insane.
These are long liquidations. More than twice the highest amount ever in one day. A lot of money just got shaken off this market.
Yep.
I would be real interested to see. Now, they've only been tracking this since July. I'd be real interested to see what this looked like at the top of the last market.
Yep.
Very interesting. So, yeah, that's some of the data we look at. Now, there was also a tweet yesterday, before we get to this Justin Sun story. There was also a tweet yesterday about how there was an all-time record for exchange inflows, and then, like, in the next day, almost the same amount were taken back off. People bought so much Bitcoin yesterday, it was insane. We know Michael Saylor bought a lot. So somebody says, let's get BitBoy on Timcast. I'll go on Tim's show. I like Tim. So, all right, let's speak of people that we don't like. Crypto founder Justin Sun swoops in on crash, buys Bitcoin under 40K. Now, is this... There's another... The other story is the one I want to get into. As crypto traders endured Bitcoin's plunge to nearly $30,000, Tron CEO and founder Justin Sun says he bought a large amount of the leading crypto under 40K. Said, I bought 4,145 Bitcoin with $152.3 million at an average price of $36,868. Who is he? Michael Saylor now? Is he going from the sun to the sales?
That'd be quite the leap.
I mean, that's the way that Michael Saylor tweets.
Yeah.
Like, I bought this much with this much money. We know you got money, Justin. We got it. Last Wednesday, Bitcoin is trading at 53,000, yada, yada, yada. Concerns on mining, restrictions, blah, blah, blah. Market's crashing right now as we speak. Oh, God, we're back to 39. I hate this, guys. I hate that we're keep crashing down. But, yeah, I mean, the numbers on the daily for Bitcoin don't look that bad. I mean, we've got a 9 on our DBSI here, a -2 for the bearish side of things. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see it pop back over 40. This range is not important unless it gets over 42K or back under 35K. And Carl's going to give you guys some numbers today. Carl's going to give you some numbers on at 3 o'clock to look at that basically show the numbers you'd be paying attention to if we go down a little bit further. And thank you to that super chat. Somebody says I should go on SNL. Let me tell you, I would crush Elon Musk as a host. I would be way better than Elon Musk hosting Saturday Night Live. There's no question about it. I guess we'd be talking about, we'd have a tulip skit, I'm sure. We'd have a Cupid skit, for sure. We'd have to have an Easter Bunny skit. It'd be like that Jim Carrey Saturday Night Live episode where he walks into the room and it's all the characters he's played. I'll have the unicorn. Okay, all right. How Justin Sun almost caused Ethereum to drop below 1,500. And so this is interesting because this is a follow-up story to the first story, right? Where did Justin Sun get $150 billion or $150 million to buy Bitcoin with? Interesting. After a display of strength in past weeks, Ethereum dropped below $2,000 for a brief moment, touched 18. The crypto seemed to be recovered, but the crypto market could still face some resistance to return to its pre-crash levels. A report by WooChain Blockchain. WooChain. Why do they not just call it WooChain? Woo Blockchain.
WooChain Clan.
WooChain Clan. Claims that ETH price barely escaped from a bigger fall. Data. Well, I am really having a hard time today. Yeah. Data provided by Felipe Gastongue shows that Justin Sun, CEO of Tron, has a $1 billion position in the Ethereum-based Liquidity protocol. That's the one. That's the one that Ian was talking about.
Yep.
Liquidity. This 606,000 ETH position was almost liquidated, and due to its size, could have caused a market crash below 1.5 thousand or $1,000 approximately. He said there was about a 2-minute window where Liquidity protocol went into recovery mode, and Justin Sun's $1 billion position could have been liquidated, but it didn't happen. He just rebalanced his trove 5 minutes ago, paying $300 million of debt back. Is this the guy they were trying to liquidate? That's the question. Sun took advantage of the drop in Bitcoin Ethereum's price. Via his Twitter account, he announced 2 major BTC and ETH purchases. He made the announcement in the same fashion. Some major corporations have disclosed their crypto holdings. Once again, trying to be like MicroStrategy. So here's the thought. You guys know we had the 4chan article yesterday that we looked at, or the 4chan screenshots, that said there was manipulation, and there was one specific person that they were targeting, and I've heard it was a Chinese person. Justin Sun, Chinese. And he's a Chinese citizen. I think he was actually born somewhere else, but he is a Chinese citizen. And the interesting thing is, he got very close. Here it says, Justin Sun said in Chinese community, like a bullet passing through the scalp, I saved the cryptocurrency.
Oh, boy.
But the point here is, you look at what happened with Justin Sun, people trying to liquidate him, I believe. And then he turns around and says, this is so Justin Sun. Oh, hey, by the way, I just bought $150 million worth of Bitcoin. Good try, guys. Because that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would do. I think we have the same mindset on stuff. I just hear he treats people badly. But I don't know. Justin Sun, it's interesting because like he hasn't really been. I want to know from the people, how many people are watching right now?
About the same, 16.
And how many likes?
6,000.
Guys, let's get that up to 8,000 likes today. Get that up to 8,000 likes. But this is what I want to know. Do you know who Justin Sun is? If you know who Justin Sun is, put hashtag I know Jay. If you don't, put hashtag I don't know him. Because I want to know how many people in 2007 or in 2021 know who Justin Sun was. He was one of the central figures of 2017, 2018, and 2019. Since the bull run, people haven't paid as much attention to Tron. It hasn't been as much in the spotlight. Justin Sun's hardly been in the news at all. You agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking here. Several no's. A couple people know Tron guy, but a lot of no's. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of no's.
Yeah, a lot of nodes. This is very interesting because I really want to know. Yeah, like this is good. This is good information for me to know whether you know who he is or not. It helps me to be able to talk about it. Okay, all right, let's move on. We already talked about Crypto Savvy. I showed you guys go subscribe to his channel. We got Uncomplication. You guys make sure to go subscribe to their channel. Both of these guys called the Wyckoff Distribution. So what is the Wyckoff theory? Wyckoff developed price action market theory, which is still a leading principle in today's trading practice. The Wyckoff method states that the price cycle of a traded instrument consists of 4 stages: accumulation, markup, distribution, and markdown. In Wyckoff, this is from Richard DeMille Wyckoff, this guy who created this. He was an early 20th century pioneer. Basically, the whole point of this is he wanted to show people that, manipulation is real. He got tired of manipulation on the markets, and so he was able to develop some patterns based on that. So this is distribution. This is a specific time in the life of an asset where it goes through this pattern. This is Wyckoff events and phases. Each one of these little phases stands for something. So you got the PSY. You got the PSY.
Psi.
Yeah. Huh? Psi.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like 7. I know, guys. Okay, so preliminary supply, where large interest begins to unload shares. I'm not going to go over all of this. All you need to know at this point is that, the inventor of announcements, that's Justin Sun. He was the inventor of announcements. But each one of these little phases played out in what we just saw. So if you look at the Bitcoin chart here, it's crazy. Like, I wish I could, let's see here. Let me do this. Now, I also want to reiterate, we're actually going to have Ryan on the show tomorrow from Uncomplication to talk about this and to show you guys how this played out. But if I can make this a little bit smaller here. Actually, I should just make this. There we go. So interestingly enough, like, you guys can see how this played out. I mean, you had the run up here, okay? And then you had the run up here. You had the drop, correction, drop, boom, 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 drop, boom, 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 another peak. That's the all-time high, the test, the UTAD test, boom, boom, followed by a drop and a correction, a larger drop, and then, this played out a little bit different, but then we got the collapse. So I would say that, to me, it looks like we went through this. I mean, some people would say that we didn't. Some people would say that this was just the first leg of this. But, I mean, this is a dramatic drop here. I mean, It looks like to me that this right here would have been reflected right here to here. We just didn't get as much of a spike. It more went sideways. And then this move down here would be like this. Now, what happens after this? Well, we're just going to have to look. We're going to have to look at, more of this when Ryan comes on the show tomorrow. Because, guys, here's a fact. I watch a few videos on this, but I'm not an expert on this. Ryan and Crypto Savvy both showed this play out as it played out, and I doubted it. Why do I doubt it? Like, if this whole thing is supposed to be revealing manipulation, like, I don't know. Shouldn't they try to hide it a little better?
Yeah.
Like, why would they make it match exactly? But the proof is in the pudding here, guys. I mean, it played out exactly. And I don't know, maybe it just has to do with buying and selling pressure, the way it kind of routinely happens, that causes it to go to basically squeeze into these patterns, if you will. It looked like I was milking, okay? But squeeze into these patterns, but it played out so well. It's unbelievable. So I want to know where you guys think things are going at this point. Because right now we're looking at the chart. I know a lot of people have been saying to go back to the chart here. Let me go to the hourly chart, see what we're looking at. Hourly chart, not great. Hourly chart, mega bearish on this hour specifically. On the daily chart, we're still not showing the green dot. Still waiting for the green dot to determine when to go in. Let's go look at the 30-minute chart. Massive drop. It's kind of like every time Bitcoin starts getting some breathing room and some momentum, it just gets crushed. And that's not good. That's still concerning. Like, we want to get this V-shaped recovery, but this is what I'll tell you. I was really looking at something that was very interesting, which was, and you'll see this on the video of Carl today, like the March crash from last year. Do you know how long it took to recover from that? Like, you have any idea, TJ?
The March crash from last year, a couple months.
No, it took like 7 weeks.
Yeah.
It took 7 weeks to recover, leading right into the halving. And, this is not going to be short, guys. I don't see any way that we're going to go back to 50K tomorrow. Maybe a few weeks, maybe if it goes that way. But right now, we're still in this wait and see mood right now. Yeah. And every time we get to 42K and we get rejected and we get back down below 40K, it's a little more concerning each time. Because eventually, it's probably going to dump. Again, if it keeps getting rejected at those numbers. The positive momentum that we spent a lot of time building is pretty much totally gone at this point. But you guys know, we're still seeing a lot of interest in crypto. And some people are saying they're finding it harder to find our chat today, which is very interesting.
It is interesting.
Is YouTube playing a role in this?
I think.
You think so? What is your thought on that?
On the stream today, it is weird. I went just and looked on a different account, and obviously it should, on an account that's subscribed, it should be showing up on the homepage, the live stream, and it's definitely not. So it almost always does. So it is weird.
On my homepage?
No, on a different account homepage that's subscribed to the channel. Anytime you're subscribed to somebody who's live, it usually shows right up, but it's not. So I don't know if maybe we said something too aggressive yesterday. I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. We'll have to look at other people's numbers and see what their numbers are.
Yeah.
Because I suspect everybody's numbers will be down today.
Yeah, we're still solid numbers, but it is weird. It's not showing up on the homepage.
That is weird. So here we go. We got Guggenheim, the Googs as I call them. No notification today, J.R. Proctor says.
That's weird.
That is weird. Well, guys, I just want to say we had a good run. We had a good run as a top crypto YouTuber here. I think CB's paid him off, apparently, trying to catch me. More FUD from the man that said Bitcoin would be worth 600K one day. He backflips on crypto, calling it Tulip Mania. This guy is like the absolute worst, other than Elon Musk, who is absolutely the worst now. In a complete 180 on his stance from just a few months ago, the global chief investment officer of investment giant Guggenheim has reacted to crypto market crash by referring to it as Tulip Mania. Seems like Elon Musk is not the only wealthy person to make a U-turn on their position toward Bitcoin and crypto assets. Guys, there's no U-turn going on. There's no U-turn. No. These guys aren't changing their mind. They already believe what they believe about it. All they're doing is giving you word vomit to make you think that they're making a U-turn.
And they also like being in the news every day.
Wow, everyone is saying they got no notification today.
Yeah, it's interesting.
We had it set up in time and everything?
Yeah. It was up, maybe 45 minutes before we went live.
Well, we think YouTube's having some issues right now.
Yeah.
So it may be bigger than us, but this is something that we will monitor. So, okay, here we go. This is the tweet. Crypto is proven to be tulip mania as prices rise. Tulip bulbs and cryptocurrencies multiply until supply swamps demand at previous market clearing prices. Corey says original price prediction still on point. Not if the market's over. No, not if the market's over. If we get a recovery, I still believe. Here's the thing. When you look at price predictions, and these were all based on the history, well, we haven't seen anything quite like we saw yesterday. The largest amount of liquidations in history. We have not had in the past Elon Musk tweeting negative things. We didn't have a lot of stuff happening that we're seeing right now with a lot of the FUD stories and coordination. So for me, it's kind of like if we get the V-shaped recovery, we can be right back on track. But I could also see a scenario where we were wrong about when this market will be ending, and we get a little mini bear market here in the middle for maybe, who knows, all summer, but maybe DeFi will pump during that time. And then we will start the next leg maybe in the fall and maybe in next year. Maybe we get an extended bull market here or something. But it's just hard to say because everything we base on this channel is based off of history. If that gets broken, then I don't know. I guess we just close the channel down. I don't know. Is that what we do?
No.
It has not failed me yet. So right now, I'm not prepared to say we're in a bear market. I'm not prepared to say that our price predictions are off. Ultimately, we will hit all those prices. Is it this cycle? Is it next cycle? Is it next year? Is it this year? Those questions are up for grabs right now. But I'm praying. I'm praying for that V-shaped recovery and that we bounce back very hard. And that maybe by July, things are, back on the upswing. Hey, my honest truth, what I want is I want to go back up today. Am I wrong? Who wants to go back up today?
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be great. But realistically, we just don't know if that will happen. So, Tuesday evening, YB lives were interrupted. What is that?
I have no idea. Maybe.
I meant to say YouTube, I think. YT lives.
Yeah.
So they had some kind of crash yesterday.
I'm not sure.
Somebody says I'm depressed. No, I'm not depressed. Not depressed at all. There's no depression here, okay? But I think you guys just have to understand how seriously I take your lives, how serious I take your financial situation. That weighs on me. It weighs on me to know that people watch this channel, have made massive gains, and there's the ability for you to lose them because I'm fine. You guys ain't got to worry about me. I can lose 95% of my money and still be a millionaire and still run this business effectively for years to come. There's no problem with us. I'm concerned about you. That's why you see concern on my face. It has nothing to do with me. It has to do with the audience. So certainly hope that things are going to be back on the upswing. This is from, last thing about this story, though. Compound Finance founder Robert Leshner argued that his tweet was inaccurate. Scott is dead wrong, bordering on financial malpractice. Agree with that. Supply of crypto and crypto assets does not increase as a function of price. That's like saying the supply of stocks increases as demand does. It's because this guy don't give a damn about what he says. He don't care about the fundamentals. He's just trying to get you to sell your backs.
Yeah.
That's all this guy cares about. This guy should be arrested. This guy should be in prison.
Yeah,
honestly.
it is pretty low.
It is financial malpractice.
Yeah, he's piling on yesterday. That was yesterday at 5 o'clock when a lot of people were terrified. And,
yes.
And he's just piling on.
Yeah. I would go in the ring with this guy.
For his own gain, which is just so low.
It's so, well, for him and all of his, guys, if you think crypto's cutthroat, check out the traditional markets.
Yeah.
They will cut you and they will not care. It's the difference here. We have philosophies about something bigger. We have bad players in this game too. But these guys right here that are, traditional market, they should be in prison. There's no question about it. What he says is garbage. He does not believe that at all.
No.
That's an outright lie to manipulate you to do something with your money.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Okay. All right, next story. Ethereum 2.0 staking. Yeah, we actually discovered this last night.
Yeah.
We discovered this last night, and I was just going through the list. I was actually making sure Tether was on Coinbase because we were doing a transaction. We were not moving over to stable coins. We were sending some stable coins out for a private sale that we're in. And I was like, what is this? You go down your portfolio list, and there's ETH2. It shows up as a different coin in your portfolio. And just to remind everybody, for Ethereum 2.0 staking, you do not have to do anything. You will not have to change your tokens over or anything like that. It'll be a natural process. It'd be way too complicated to make people actually do it. So here we go. What is Ethereum 2? Ethereum 2.0, or ETH2, is an upgrade to the Ethereum network that aims to improve the network security and scalability. This upgrade involves Ethereum shifting their current mining model to a staking model. So what is the difference? We know that. We've talked about that a lot. What are the rewards of staking ETH? You may earn up to 6% APR on any ETH that you stake as a reward for helping secure the network.
I think that percentage is specific to
Coinbase.
Coinbase, yeah.
Yeah, it's specific to Coinbase because they're actually taking, I believe, 25%.
Yeah.
I think it's 25% of your staking rewards, and they're keeping it for themselves. you're paying them for the convenience of just being able to do it on Coinbase.
Right.
If you hold money in Coinbase or Coinbase Vault, then, if you got Ethereum there, what's the difference? You might as well just earn the staking rewards. So you can actually start moving stuff over to that E2.0, I think, as of right now. Correct?
One thing to keep in mind is once you port Ethereum over to ETH2, it is not reverse compatible. So you can't port it straight back.
You can't switch it on Coinbase?
Well, I don't know how Coinbase works.
Yeah, I'm sure you can on Coinbase. And that's what we're talking about here.
We need to test that. I don't know. Like, according to everything else about the fork, once ETH tokens get transferred to ETH2, they don't go back.
Yeah, you're right. It says, will I be able to use my funds while I'm staking ETH? Well, the thing is that you can unstake it here, though. It says, later this year, we expect to enable liquidity of your stake ETH funds. I mean, if you're actually running a validator node and you're actually staking your Ethereum on your validator node, which you'd have over 32 ETH to do that, then yeah, you're not going to be able to get it out. But if you're doing it on Coinbase, you'll be able to get it out. But what they're saying is if you switch it over now, they're not going to have access for you to get that liquidity to switch it and unstake it until later in the year. Because you got to know, like, you're not actually staking your ETH.
Right. What I mean is
Coinbase.
not. Of course, you can unstake it and still spend it. I'm just saying you can't turn it back into original ETH. Once it's ETH2, it stays ETH2. But you can still spend it,
forever,
transfer. Yeah, just like it was Ethereum.
I don't know if that's correct.
I'm pretty sure.
Not on Coinbase.
Okay.
Not on Coinbase.
Okay.
Because it's all just paper they're moving around. So why could you not?
I mean, that's just the way the network works. I mean, I guess they could do it in theory, like give you new old Ethereum back,
So you'll have an untradeable coin on Coinbase. That'll be interesting. I don't know. We'll have to test that.
Yeah.
I'll test that today because that doesn't make sense. Because you're not actually, like, Coinbase is not actually taking your Ethereum out of a wallet and moving it around. I mean, they'll have a certain amount of allocated over to E2 staking, and you're just basically buying into access to that. But you could also back out of it, I would believe. I mean, you could what if you wanted to, sell?
That's what I'm saying.
You can sell.
You could still sell it. You could still transfer it. But once it's ETH2, it's ETH2. Now,
you could trade it to Bitcoin and then trade it back to ETH. Oh, but because they'll still have regular Ethereum on
Sure.
them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll test. We'll play around with that because that's very interesting. These are things we probably should know to be able to tell you guys about. But I wouldn't see any way that you wouldn't be able to move it back just because.
Well, what would
it's all paper? It's just derivatives.
Yeah,
trading
none of it's real. It's just
unless you withdraw it. I mean, if you withdraw it, you're stuck with it for sure.
Right.
Travis says the BitBoy Arbitrage group has an ad below the stream.
We can't control that.
We can't control that. BitBoy Arbitrage is a scam. These are vermin, the lowest common denominator of life, that do these things, along with the second lowest common denominator of life, which is Google, which allows it. So, anyone who ever wonders, BitBoy Arbitrage is a scam group. We have nothing to do with it. And Google, out of malpractice and negligence, allows them to put ads on our videos. So, really sorry about that. We fight it. But sometimes it feels like we're chasing our tails. Okay. All right. So, here we go. Nifty news. Instagram's NFT platform, Warhol's Amiga art and Beeple's hologram. NFT artists claimed Instagram is building an NFT platform. Beeple is working to create fully holographic NFTs. Interesting. Digital artist Sean Williams. Yeah, so Clinton says you can't unstake on Coinbase, but that's right now, I would think. That they just said they don't have liquidity to do it now. But I think when the program is fully robust, you should be able to. It's not going to get stuck on there forever, I don't think. We'll just have to see. That's usually not the way Coinbase operates. So this would be new territory for them if that is what they did. Sean Williams, this is not Stifler, I don't think. Wasn't that his name? Yeah. Claims Mark Zuckerberg's Instagram is working to create its own NFT marketplace. Instagram is building an NFT platform right now, and they're reaching out to upcoming artists in the NFT space to help them build it. The catch, they're reaching out to artists in our community to give them insight on what the NFT community needs and disguising. What does that mean? Yeah, it says E2 is locked until the upgrade goes live. Now, interesting you said that, because if we go back to that story, I mean, this is just kind of we just don't know the answers to a lot of this stuff yet. But I would say what I found really interesting about that was where it said, let's see, where did it say? I think it's right up here. Are there risks? Where was that question? It said later this year we expect liquidity to be able to trade those staked funds, but E2.0 won't be live this year, so it won't be fully live until 2023. They say. So I don't know. We'll just have to see how all this plays out. We'll do some experimenting with it, but I'm very interested in this now, because I thought that was the benefit of doing it on Coinbase, was you could unstake it whenever, as opposed to actually having to lock it up on a node forever. So. All right, Williams tweeted to his 12,000 followers on May 18th that Instagram had invited him and other artists to speak on an NFT-focused panel and to provide feedback on the company on how they can build a better platform for creators. However, the approach hasn't gone down well with Williams, who feels that Instagram wants to leverage NFT artist insights to provide market research for the development of an NFT platform of its own. An honorarium, who says honorarium, of $1,000 while we sit in a room with upper-level management and the dev team to build product? Weird. Sounds like a platform that's behind and looking to use the leverage they'd had over the last 10 years to pretend like they care. Williams sold an NFT named Haunted by a Taste of Freedom last month for 10 ETH on Super Rare, worth about $24,530 at today's prices. Yeah, you got to get on that Beeple level, man. You got to get them 69 mil.
Yeah, and that's interesting what he said in that quote there, because that would be consistent with Facebook's MO. Is basically bring some new up-and-coming people in, act like you're really curious, like you want to help them out, ask a lot of questions, learn a lot about what they're doing so you can really understand it, and then build your own platform and totally cut them out. They've done that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's traditionally what we've seen with them for sure. So we got ETH at 27, Cardano at $1.76. It was over $1.90 earlier. Bitcoin dipping continually. It looks like we're going to have another bad hour or 30 minutes here. Looks like it's going back down to 39, 38. So we'll have to see what happens here with that. Still continuing to dip, so not great news. But yeah, I definitely think that NFT platforms are pretty interesting. I don't want Instagram involved in it for sure.
No.
Was this the story or was it this one?
You can jump to that. I mean, the other one was basically just a story about, we talk about Ubisoft being related to NFTs a lot. This is them, basically doing a $50 million investment to go heavier into a crypto blockchain fund. That's pretty much it.
Who gives the best rate? Yeah. Ubisoft. Sorry, I'm not in the gaming world. Who gives best rate on stablecoins? Anchor, Celsius, Aave, other. I think BlockFi does.
No.
Is 16% on USDC?
Is it?
I think. Isn't that what Graham was telling us?
No, I don't.
Maybe it's 8%. I don't know what it is. Well, the good thing with BlockFi is you might get an extra, $7 million in your account one day. So.
Yeah.
Check Treasury. What Treasury? 10K Ethereum. 10K Ethereum. I don't know anything about the Ethereum. What's going on with the Treasury? Don't know what they're talking about. Bitcoin price gains 40% in a day as altcoins Cardano and Dogecoin join $42,000 Bitcoin. It's a sea of green for Bitcoin and altcoins on Thursday as a tsunami of optimism erases these people with these freaking notes here or these captions. Erases the previous crypto bloodbath. A 20% gain negates a 40% loss. Anyways. Confirmation that this is Russian mafia, by the way. That's another story though for another day. What's the? I got a name for y'all. Is all I'm gonna say. Bitcoin at 42K on May 20th as altcoins join the largest crypto in its record-breaking comeback. It was a record-breaking comeback. I mean, for sure, it was the largest candle we've ever seen. The largest green. I mean, technically, it depends on what time frame you're looking at, but it dropped 14,000 and then it bounced 11,000, I think. So, Cointelegraph reported the past 24 hours have been a test like no other for Bitcoin as selling pressure drove it to 30K only to evaporate and allow a run to 40K, all within around 5 hours. The most spectacular rallies happen when emotions within the market are at their most extreme. Trader Rec Capital said, Rec Capital noted that the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, a key indicator of sentiment, was practically repeating behavior from 2020 when cryptos broadly crashed. Oh, what is this? Okay, so check CNBC, they're saying.
Yeah.
Always with the most current news here. U.S. Treasury. Oh, so this just happened. Oh, gosh. You can't make this stuff up.
Nope.
Here we go. U.S. Treasury calls for stricter crypto compliance with IRS, says they pose tax evasion risk. The Treasury Department announced it will require any transfer worth $10,000 or more to be reported to the IRS. Crypto already now this is a continuation of something from Trump's administration that they had talked about. Crypto already poses a significant detection problem, blah, 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 blah. Bitcoin trade-off highs, blah, 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 blah. So, let's see. I mean, we kind of already knew a lot of this stuff, as we had talked about at the end of last year when Steve Mnuchin, the former Treasury Secretary, had imposed a lot of these rules. Biden immediately came in and basically overturned everything Trump had done. So this got put on hold, and it looks like they're bringing it back. So that doesn't surprise anyone that they're doing this with crypto and Bitcoin at the lowest. So I don't know what to expect here from the markets. That might be what these are reacting to at this point.
Yeah, we're officially red across the board now.
Officially red across the board again.
Hour, 24-hour, and week.
Wow. That is fantastic.
Yep.
Great to hear that, guys. Great to hear that. So anyways, the dip is over, according to this article.
Well, and that's kind of what we were going to talk about with this is the sense it's funny that it's like it's all bearish yesterday. Bearish, bearish, bearish everywhere you look. You got Menard tweeting out literally at the very bottom of the market. Then you wake up today, it's all bullish. Like there was a lot of bullish news first thing this morning when in reality there still could be a little bit left to dip. Like if you want to pull that Wyckoff thing back up, some people were saying like we felt like it was pretty good. Like that, we could, that we could be right here, that this morning could have been this little tick up and then we still have this to go, or have we already experienced this whole dip?
I mean, look, according to the chart, I mean, comparing these two, it looks like to me that right here where these support lines are, the LPSY and the SOW down here, that looks like this to this, right? Because when you look, this is more flat right here. This is a dramatic drop here. Where does this? Depends on where you want to start it. A lot of people say this started at the beginning of February. So let me see. I mean, we basically like look, guys. Here's the thing. A lot of people are saying this started in the beginning of February, right after our January run up. Where it started and where it ended is the same number, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So anybody that's telling you that, or anybody that's saying that, like they're just wanting to be a little bit more negative, I would say. Now, look, that doesn't mean that we're not going to fall further. We certainly can fall further from here. But the whole point is this Wyckoff distribution is this. This is what it is. Where did it start? Beginning of February. Why did it start? Because Elon Musk tweeted about Tesla buying Bitcoin. Look what we've done. We've erased the entire thing. The entire thing is gone. So how much further down do you want to go? I mean, that's the question. According to this, looking here, it looks like, unless my eyes are deceiving me, it starts at the same place as it finishes. And we started right where we finished right here, below $40,000. So that's my opinion on it. We'll see what happens. I mean, I certainly am not super encouraged by this article that just came out about this. Is there anything about this? No. Like, who cares about this? A lot of people are saying ETH to 10K by December. I mean, I'm going to go back and say it again. If the bull market's over, no. We peaked. That's it. It's over. If it's not over, then yeah, definitely. But we just don't know right now. We're getting pounded with bad news after bad news after bad news. But what I would say about this is, guys, let's look at this from a logical perspective. Pull this article up. Let's look at this from a logical perspective here, okay? U.S. Treasury calls for stricter crypto compliance with the IRS. Y'all hiding your taxes? Y'all cheating? Then who cares? If you do what you're supposed to do if you pay your taxes and you're not using Monero and Bitcoin mixers to hide all your crypto, why does it matter if we have stricter restrictions? You're still having to report your trades. You're still having to use TaxBit or Zen Ledger to sync up with your exchanges. This has no effect on your life unless you're a cheater. Unless you are a criminal, this has no effect on your life. They might ask some more questions, but at the end of the day, what you did with your crypto is what you did with it, and what your tax burden is going to be what your tax burden is. You know who hates this? The people that hate this the most are the early Bitcoin whales that are able to manipulate their money a lot easier. Their Bitcoin is much more well hidden, and they don't pay their taxes. That's who this hurts the most. The people that had all the money from Silk Road, the hackers, that's who gets hurt by this stuff. I mean, your people that are paying your taxes, who cares? This don't matter a hill of beans to me. It means nothing. But you know what it is? The headline looks scary. Mm-hmm. Why do you think they did that? To evoke emotion out of you to get you to read it. So here, we tell you what the real deal is. Like, look, I don't like being taxed, especially when the government just prints money. What's the point of taxing people? You can just print it. What's the point? Control. That's why. So I don't like any of it. But it is what it is. Here's the great news. I'm going to Texas on Monday night, and Tuesday morning I'm going to talk to their state house, their caucus for their House of Representatives there about my opinion on crypto regulation. And so we are, through this channel and through this community, through the BitSquad, because guess what? If I had 9 subscribers, I wouldn't be getting opportunities like this. You, the community, in the BitSquad, you are playing a role where we actually get a say in this stuff. And that's important. This is the kind of impact that my channel is having. And it's all because of you. Are they going to just do everything I say? Probably not. Of course not. Most people do. Just kidding. TJ doesn't. But the fact is that we're getting a say in this. And that's what's important. But we also have to be realistic. I'm not going to come in there and say, hey, you know what, government? Best thing y'all can do is just not tax crypto. That ain't going to happen. We got to find a happy medium. We got to strike that balance in between common sense digital asset laws and what's best for everybody to be able to participate in this market. We got to strike that balance in between. And so that's what we're going to try to do next week. I'm very excited about this opportunity. This is really big for our channel. So definitely thank you to the BitSquad for this. Somebody says in the Fed. We would love that. We'd love to in the Fed. But we also had to be realistic with where we're at politically and, monetarily in this country right now. So, guys, make sure to come back. 3 o'clock, Carl's on the channel. 5 o'clock tonight. We got Around the Blockchain. Got some great guests on there for you guys. Don't forget to make sure to be aware at 5 Eastern that it's going to be on, because you might not get the notification. Hopefully you do. I love you guys. That's all I got. Be blessed. Big boy out.